And welcome to this beginning phase of the restoration of a tenor banjo. This one comes from probably somewhere between 1920 to 1940. It belonged to my great-uncle Rueben. It's been heavily played. From what I'm led to believe, he played almost every weekend at the local social clubs in Bradford, and that's back in the day when there was no other entertainment apart from the entertainment you made. The case here, it's really moth-eaten. It's made out of like a compressed cardboard, wrapped in a very paper-thin blue material. The handle's held on with a bit of telephone wire. It's been stitched up a couple of times along the back edge. It's soft. It's nasty. It really cannot be saved. I was going to potentially try to fix it, but I went down the path of replacing it with a brand spanking new case. This came from Eagle Music in Huddersfield. I was helped by a lovely gentleman called Matt, who was very, very knowledgeable. Helped me out buying everything I needed to get on with this project, with exception of a couple of bits. But yeah, the case, fantastic green plush lining. It's got a little box in there so you can store all your pecks and your tuner and all your spare parts. A little bit on the baggy side. Needs a little bit of ancillary padding around the back end just to stop it bouncing around a little bit. But yeah, it's just such a lovely case. And yeah, thanks to Matt at Eagle Music. It's about 75 quid this. It's well worth the money. Okay, so going through just a basic walkthrough of the banjo really. I've already disassembled it. I'm just going to go through all parts and tell you what I'm going to do with it really. Here's the tailpiece. It's basically where all the strings hook onto. It's bolted onto the back of the dowel nut. Just a bit grubby and tarnished. Polish up nicely, hopefully. The tension ring, I couldn't get this one off at first. It was very, very stiff, but you leave it overnight, it pops off. Yeah, just dirty. Give it a clean and a polish up. The vellum, it's old. It's a little bit bright. It's worn thin at the bottom where the scratching's gone. That'll be replaced. The tone ring just needs a little bit of a polish up, but yeah, going to get a brand new vellum from Clifford, Essex. Removing the dowel nut here, it allows you to separate the rim from the neck. The rim itself, it's not in bad nick. There's some cracks in the varnish on it. It's very, very dirty. Taking all the shoes off, it's going to allow me to give it a good clean and polish, a little bit of a sand and a wax. And there's the dowel nut. Pop that to one side. Now, the resonator ring, it's absolutely filthy. It's got one of the support parts there is broken. There's a big crack through it. The white stuff's peeling off a little. Quite scratched on the back. I'm going to keep as much originality as possible, so light sanding, a little bit of wax, should be lovely. Now the neck is probably the tightest part of the entire banjo. I've already removed all the fret wires here. The dowel is actually loose where it comes into the neck. I'm going to have to remove that, re-secure it. I've watched a couple of videos. Basically, I'm going to soak it in vinegar for a couple of days. With it being loose, it really affects the action on the banjo. So basically, towards the back end, the strings are around about 3/4 of an inch proud of the neck. Up at the front of the neck here on the fingerboard, it's really quite worn. There's some heavy dimpling on the first 3 frets. I'm going to try and steam as much out as I can, but I'm not going to go mad. I'm going to keep a lot of the originality really. It shows its age. It's been played lots, and I believe that every little mark on this is a little bit of a memory. Up at the top here, where my hand is, there's a very, very dark shadow. It's clearly where my Uncle Ruben's hand has been when he's been playing the banjo. And yeah, I really don't want to lose that. It's a little bit of a ghost. It's a memory piece, really. The fret wire, as I say, I've already pulled them all out. They're going to get replaced with some brand spanking new fret wire. I actually bought it from BTN Music. It's an online shop. They're very, very quick turnaround. But yeah, where the frets have been played, there's little dimples in the actual fret wire, which I believe will affect the sound of the playing. So yeah, they're all going to get replaced with brand new wire. Also getting replaced on this is the nut, which is made out of bone. It lives up at the top of the neck, and yeah, just in that slot there. The original nut, it had a corner missing off it, basically where the first string sits. So I've got a lovely brand new piece of buffalo bone, which came from Eagle Music. That's going to get chopped down and put into place. Some new grooves put in to house the strings. Yeah, it should be lovely. Also from Eagle Music, bought a bridge. It never had one, so got a nice little one. Just pop them all away for safekeeping. Okay, from there I've got what have I got? Oh yeah, this is the shop plate, I believe. Done a little bit of online research, not found anything. The business name on this is Stanley North Everything Musical. It was a shop on Manchester Road in Bradford. Can't find any history on it. Got the original phone number here. That won't work. It's only 4 digits, 4618. Yeah, that's not going to get put back on. I'm actually going to laser cut myself a nice one. Unfortunately, it's going to cover up this British made stamp, which is on the head of the banjo. Yeah, it actually nailed on across the top of that. But I'm going to do a nice little memorial plate to my great-uncle, and nail it back into its original place. Yeah, so a bit of a lasting heritage thing. The neck itself, it's a little bit dirty, a little bit grubby, should sand up lovely. The original tuning pegs, there was only 3 that matched. At some point in its life, it's lost one, or one's been broken. And yeah, unfortunately, couldn't find a replacement for this anywhere. So what I decided was to replace all 4. Because I can't find that one. I want them all to match, I want them all to be usable. So I bought these from Eagle Music again. Nice geared tuners. The only downside is I will have to do a little bit of milling on the head to make space for them to go in. There's a much bigger neck on them, really. And yeah, that's that. Onto the strings. It only had 3 strings on it, and yeah, you can't play a 3-string banjo. I obviously need to replace one of them. Might as well replace all 4. So I went for a set of light gauge Irish tenor banjo strings from Eagle Music. I went light gauge just so it's not putting too much tension on the neck. Also went for the Irish because that's the kind of music I'm kind of into learning myself. Moving forward from there, I have got the tension nut and hooks. Now, it was missing one of these, and a lot of them are bent around the threaded portion. It's a little bit sketchy trying to straighten them. I was also missing one of these shoes, which they all bolt onto the rim, and the J-hook fits through the middle of that shoe, pulls down on the tension ring, nut goes on the bottom, and you adjust them to adjust the tension of the skin. But yeah, because I was missing one, I was going to have to make one or buy one. I thought might as well buy one, so I ended up buying a full set of 24 brand spanking new ones again from Eagle Music. They come all nice and shiny, nice and new. The clip hook style ones, I think they're called the Chicago style, and they all come with a brand new set of nuts on the bottom. The only downside to the nuts is they're a little bit longer than the original ones, so I'm going to have to machine them down a little bit. Going to keep the threaded part at one end, but on the originals there's a rounded portion, so I'm going to have to round off one end. It also stops it interfering with the resonator flange. Here's one of the shoes. This is what's missing, unfortunately, and yeah, I decided, a little bit of machining knowledge, I'm going to make a brand new one. Hopefully you won't even notice the difference, albeit this is sort of like a nickel plated brass alloy kind of material. I'm going to do it out of steel.
Yeah.